Science and technology enhances our lives, especially in communication, which affected how we connect with each other. But how can we properly communicate these developments to the mass? How do we bridge the gap between academia and practice through science communication?
Hayaang buksan ang isipan sa science o agham.
Pagpapaunlad sa antas ng pamumuhay ng mga Pilipino gamit ang teknolohiya.
Bakit lahat ng inyong budget puro research? Baliw na baliw kayo sa research.
Who here, when they were in school, enjoyed studying science? Alright.
Para mapalapit ang siyensya sa tao.
We have to answer questions whose answers rely heavily on scientific information.
Science communicators have a crucial role to play in bridging the gap between academia and practice. Gap number 1, lack of funding. Agham, or Advocates of Science and Technology for the People, released a statement lamenting DOST, or Department of Science and Technology, budget cut for 2020. It says that they need more public spending for S&T to finance much-needed STEM training and education, manpower development, infrastructure, and research and development. The DOST budget for 2020 is only 20.18 billion pesos. This is 20.26 billion pesos lower in 2019. The share of it to GDP, or gross domestic product, is only 0.14%, which is below of should be 1% of the international standard for research and development funding. The Philippine government seemed to be adamant in opening its wallet for research and development expenditures, resulting to yearly budget cuts.
My experience, I've been here just shy of 4 years. In my experience, government very slow in developing partnerships, opening up their wallets, and being able to see the world differently.
Second gap, exclusion of science communication in schools' curriculum. Universities and colleges offer a wide variety of courses on science, but not on scientific ethics and communication skills to students. Limited interactions between scientists and students resulted to lack of students' appreciation in science and technology. Science is being taught to students, but the way of communication is not achieved. Third gap, lack of collaboration between academe and industry. Studies reveal that academic research has little to no relevance to practitioners in addressing their real issues and problems. Know why? Because of low skills in communicating science to real practice in industry. Michael Dino, a nurse, researcher, and professor from Our Lady of Fatima University, said that research is give and take. Sometimes you have to shell out for your paper to get published, which in return will increase your credentials. Baluyut, a medical technologist and postgraduate student in the same university, meanwhile said that the collaboration is existing, but it is not enough.
May collaboration pero kulang, though the academy is trying hard to get resources, kulang pa rin kasi minsan sa support mismo sa government.
Fourth gap, publish and perish rule. This falls under the limits and applicability of the research in practice. Although a research or thesis is seen as a requirement for you to graduate, the actual application is missing. Most of the time, the researcher is not attuned with the needs of the society, or if these papers have been published, the information is insufficient.
There really is difference in my research and from what I do currently. You can select a research just because first of the availability of equipment and materials in the laboratory at your school, because there is no enough number of laboratory materials and equipment to be used. Collaborate with the industry regarding possible researches that students can do in order to solve certain concerns in the industry.
And fifth gap, lack of public interest.
Kailangan ng mga forums, tapos seminars, dun sa mga barangay o LGU, na mismo nga mga scientists ang mag-reach out sa publiko. Kasi Iba yung interaction ng professional at public. Ngayon, may sense of connection. Kasi mas na-encourage yung mga kabataan to take up science courses.
Public engagements, forums, seminars on development of science. Those are the information campaigns that the public need to be engaged in science. Also, the policymakers, a public official, has the power to widespread information. The conclusion. The group came up with these gaps that the researchers and practitioners face. First, the lack of funding for science and technology research. Second, science communication is not part of the education curriculum. Third, lack of collaboration between the industry and academia. Fourth, limits and applicability of the research in practice. And fifth, lack of public interest. So, how do we address it? We came up with 3 recommendations. First, evaluate general curriculum to include science communication subject. This is to develop capacities of future scientists and researchers in communicating their work.
Inclusion of science communication to the general curriculum will enhance students' communication skills. Science communication is crucial but will greatly benefit the student and public to develop informed and science-driven individuals.
Second, the stakeholders should be involved.
Stakeholders should be part of the decision-making process in the academe for effective application of research in various industries.
Third, a fora where researchers can share the results of scientific research to the public.
If researchers and academics, together with practitioners and lay people, can meet in scientific fora and conferences, then maybe the best practices can be shared and people will understand why researches have to be made and what are the applications in practice.
They say that it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes hard work, perseverance, for him to be armed for the future. And we can do that through research and development, which is the bedrock of innovation. And we use that innovation to bridge these gaps.
As science sometimes make people better. We should be listening when we are here on the ground. But of course, there is also not. So if the language is a barrier, then use the language that each soul is a part of.
It's now your turn. As development communicators, what will you do?